Every year, around 800,000 people die by suicide globally. That's one person every 40 seconds. In the UK in 2018, there were 6,500 deaths by suicide. There is good evidence that for each adult who commits suicide, there may be as many as 20 other attempted suicides. If you or anyone that you know is experiencing suicidal thoughts or thinking about taking your own or their own life, the most important thing that I can say to you is to seek help, to tell someone. This is often the hardest thing to do, but it's the most important thing to do, because once you've shared it, you're no longer alone. When you're having recurring suicidal thoughts, it's like falling through a black void. But when you tell someone, it's almost like you reach out a hand and you grab onto someone. You're not alone. You've told someone, and if it's a professional, then they're there to help and support you. And if it's a family member, then of course they'll love and care for you, and they want the best for you. And if you don't feel comfortable speaking to someone in your friend and family group, there's help everywhere online. And depending on where you are in the world, if you're in the UK, you can call the Samaritans. If you're in the US, there's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. In Australia, there's the Crisis Support Service Lifeline, and all international suicide helplines can be found at befrienders.org. So wherever you are in the world, if you go to befrienders.org, type in where you are and find out who you can call, and these places are excellent at giving help and support for people thinking about taking their own life. And yeah, just to re-emphasize, there's so much helpful resources online. Just type in suicide into Google, or support with suicide, or my friends thinking about suicide, whichever one of these terms relates most closely to you, type that in, or just broadly suicide. And there was one really great article that I'll share in the description below that just really went about very comprehensively talking about the all the things that you need to keep in mind and to do if you or someone that you know and love is thinking about suicide. And I'll just share it here quickly just so you can see how comprehensive it is. So yeah, suicide prevention, and then it talks about understanding suicide, some common misconceptions about suicide. Then it goes on to talk about the warning signs that you can look for in your friend or family member, and comprehensive list of those. Suicide prevention tip 1, speak up if you're worried. Like I already said, it's very important to speak up. Some tips if you're talking to a person who's suicidal. The second tip, to respond very quickly in a crisis, take it seriously and to act quickly. Offer the person help and support, and try and get some professional support. It goes on to talk about some risk factors, and then it talks generally about suicides in teens and older people. And so there's many factors that go into why someone would be having suicidal thoughts, thinking about taking their own life. And there's a few images that I want to share with you that go to show, I think, a cultural issue that we have in this modern time of social media. This is an image from Mental Health Believe UK, and all these people sadly took their own lives, but on the outside they were putting a mask on a front to say that they're okay. And there's another brilliant image. I don't know who the artist is, but if you know who I should give the credit to for this image, it's brilliant. Comment below and let me know so that artist can get the credit for this one. And it's this, that inside you need help and you're screaming out inside, but you're not willing to take that first step and get that support and help. And I think social media is a really big part of this, because on our social media news feed, and if we're uploading a lot of pictures, we're always trying to find the best side of ourselves and portray that on. So if you take several pictures, you pick the best one and you might put a few filters on and then you put that out into the world. But if you're not feeling 100% and you're feeling low, and then you constantly on social media and seeing everyone else is putting this, almost a lot of it is a false sense of what their life's actually like, this can cause you to become even more depressed. And so yeah, I think if you're struggling with suicidal thoughts, definitely take a big step away from social media, away from drugs and alcohol. And yeah, if you look online, there's a lot more help and advice of what to avoid if you're struggling with these issues. And I was looking, trying to find a positive life quote to end this episode. And to be honest with you, when I was looking through, I thought a person with suicidal thoughts, or with a friend or family member with suicidal thoughts, they don't want a positive quote. They want professional help and support. And so I'm not going to bother with a positive life quote. I'm just going to re-emphasize, don't deal with it on your own. Reach out, get some support. There's so much support around you. Your friends and family love you. They want you to be well and get better. And the Samaritans and all of the support that's available in your surrounding area, they also want to help and support you. So think twice, seek out that help and support, because there's so many people around that love and care for you. Bye.